If you could change any choices you have ever made, would you? You can always make another choice and change the course of your success. Everyone has the potency to make inspired choices. Get ready to listen, share, and experience the creativity that is you. Now, here is the host of Inspired Choices radio show, Christine McIver.
That is right. That is me. It is time. It is time for another show on the Inspired Choices Network. I am your host, Christine McIver, and my show is called Inspired Choices. So who knew, right? Well, tonight we have got a show for you that every business owner, I believe, should tune into, because I don't think every business owner has got all the details down on what I'm going to be talking about tonight. So tonight's show is business basics every owner should know. Now, that doesn't mean business basics to just get started. Business basics is something that we need to be coming back to again and again, looking at our business so our businesses can continue to grow. And because business changes, those basics might change as well. So before we get into tonight's show, let me tell you a little bit about who I am. I am a business owner. I'm a business optimization expert. I love to work with clients who are in business, who are looking to really, take their time, make the most of their time, learn how to navigate and create an amazing business where they have joy and pleasure and prosperity. I love to show business owners some of the amazing tools that I know how to work with. And as well as that, I also am the CEO of the Inspired Choices Network. And it's so funny because every time I say that, I still pinch myself. It's pretty amazing. So, the Inspired Choices Network, if you're listening to us not at the actual platform, we are an online media platform where we do live radio, TV, podcasts, summits, books. We do all sorts of things. And this has been a creation of love and pleasure. And when I first jumped into it, I really didn't know what I was doing. But now, after years of being in business and years of doing this amazing platform and working with hosts and creating amazing content with them and distributing them across the world, I now have a lot more knowledge that I love to share with each and every one of you. So, if you're someone who is looking to bring your voice to the world, if you're a business owner who would like to now be a global expert, a global authority, and you would love to learn how to do that, or you're looking to maybe put on a summit and you would love to have something be different than all the other summits out there, reach out to me, Christine at inspiredchoices.ca, and let's have a conversation, because who knows? Perhaps there's something that we create that I can do to support you. All right, so let's get into tonight's show. Business basics every owner should know. Are you ready to tap into a go-to source for business wisdom and entrepreneurial insights? Tonight, we're going to be breaking down the basics that every business owner should know, whether you're a seasoned entrepreneur or just starting out. These fundamentals are crucial for success and ensuring your bank account will rise and not stress you out. We're going to be reviewing strategy, financial, marketing, customer relations, some legal, some hiring and firing and networking, and so much more. And mastering these business basics is essential for every entrepreneur looking to build a solid foundation and reduce your stress. And that's something that, I talk about so much, because when you're in business, is there going to be stressful days? Are there going to be stressful times? There are. That is part of every person's experience, whether they have own business or not. However, when you are following some of these basic steps, when you're going through and setting yourself up for success, there's going to be less and less of those stressful days out there. And while there are going to be stressful days, there's also going to be robust days, beautiful days, days of prosperity that's going to be really coming to you. And I love to see people really growing their businesses and really seeing the rewards of their work. Some days it's going to feel like you're working around the clock, and other days you're going to think, oh my gosh, I should be doing more. And everything that we're going to talk about tonight is going to really add to the possibility of you having so much robust, so much glory built into your business that you're going to feel like you should be doing more when everything is just humming along beautifully. So let's start out with some things that may surprise you. So, one of the business basics that everyone needs to have in this time in the world is strong internet. And that's very funny that I start out with that because I lost internet within the last day for 12 hours. And I was very concerned that I was going to be able to do my show today, not to mention to do the work that I had planned to do today. So, am I going to be looking into a different possibility with my internet? Why, yes, I am. So, definitely, you need to have strong internet. Another thing that you need to have that is going to really aid you in everything that you do is good organizational skills. Now, some of us are naturally organizing people. That's me. I am a natural organizer. And others of us that are not naturally organized need to have some tools to help them be organized. And I can talk a little bit about that in a bit. But being organized, what being organized is going to do for you. And I know people that are not organized just think, oh, whatever, it's not that big a deal. And they kind of brush that off. I can tell you, my son, he is very, very intelligent, does very, very well for himself in business, but he's not that organized. He's got it all up in his head, but he's not that organized. He knows how to find things quickly. So there is some form of organization that he has done, but there are other things that he hasn't. And that's where I would come in. If you are someone that somebody's in the chat room saying my hand is in the air, if you're someone that is not organized, let me ask you this question. Are you willing to learn the tools to support you to get organized? If you get a yes on that, that's excellent. And it's not as difficult as you may think. There are so many tools. We really are blessed with technology today and the way that we can operate these different programs that will really support us to become more organized and streamline our businesses. And when you are organized, what that is going to do for you is you are going to be able to save time. And time is money. When you're especially in your own business, every minute counts in what you are doing. So if you've got slow internet and you're sitting here waiting for the computer to process, that's costing you money. If you are searching, if you're somebody that's constantly searching for a file, if you're searching and you don't have a good organizing system set up, that is going to cost you time as well. What comes along with that when you start to get frustrated because you can't find something? It starts to impact your body. It starts to impact your mind. Your stress levels go up. It impacts the next step you're going to take in your business. Maybe when you go to work with a client, that stress is going to have lingered. I had stress this morning. I'm not going to kid you. I had stress with the internet. And after the internet got done, I had stress with a payment system that tried to really take money from my own bank account. That it was a scam. Actually, I got someone had done something to try to pull me into a scam, and there's not great systems in place on this one platform, and so they were able to try to take money from me. I did eventually get that money back, but it took me over an hour of making phone calls. So my stress levels were up. Well, I needed to take the time today to really allow that to, leave my psyche, leave my body so that I could come forward and do this show tonight and do other work with clients that I really wanted to do today. So when you are not organized and when things happen, life happens, it's going to impact you. Well, the more organized you are, the less likely that's going to keep you down. So that's a very, very important piece because your time is so essential in your business. Now, not only do you need to have your emails organized, your files on your computer organized, you need to have your work environment organized. Do you know that every single solitary piece of paper or any kind of item that is sitting on your desk is taking up energy? It's actually pulling energy from you. And in order for you to be able to do your best work, that also needs to be organized. Okay. So these things are incredibly essential for you to be able to move forward with much more ease each day. Um, One of the, I really do talk to a lot of people about, at the core, I'm a cheerleader. I love to cheer people on to their successes. And one of the biggest things that we need in order to be able to do that for ourselves is belief. We need to have belief in ourselves. We need to have our own back, and we need to continually do work within ourselves to eradicate any doubt, to eradicate anywhere that we are buying that there's something wrong with us. It's important that we are spending just as much time taking care of us as we do our business, because we, the business owner, we're the most crucial essential piece of our business. Now, you can have team members, but without you, the leader, being at your best, how are you going to lead your team? So taking care of you, doing some mental work, doing some physical work for yourself, really loving up on yourself and looking at the places and spaces where you need to still evolve and grow. That's extremely important. And these aspects of taking care of yourself and showing up stronger with growing who you are as a leader, who you are as an individual, who you are as a business owner, who you are as a service or a product provider is extremely important. If you do not continue to evolve, someone else will. And that person will be at a different level of energy and be more attractive to the customers and the clients out there that are looking for someone strong to lead them forward in whatever area it is that you provide service or products. So these aspects that I'm speaking about here in the first segment, they're very critical. They come before all of the other items that we're going to be talking about tonight. So I want you to really look at who you are and look at how you as the business owner operate. Are you known for someone who loses their cool? Are you known for someone who is always kind of rushing in late to meetings? Are you known for as someone who has a difficult time responding in a timely manner? Are you upset? Are you easily upset? Are you easily distracted? If there are some things, and you might have more than one, and that's okay. If there are some things that you can acknowledge that need some polishing, that need some attention, you're on your way. Be willing to be vulnerable with yourself and identify where you need some growth, where you need some support. The other piece that I'm going to talk about in this segment, and then we're going to take off to our first break, is every single solitary business owner needs to have a coach. You need to have some kind of coach, especially if you are determined to grow your business. If you are determined to continue to evolve and really to show up at your absolute best each and every day. If you're looking to expand who you are, if you're looking to expand the profits in your business, if you're looking to expand the services in your business, you need a coach. That's extremely important. So if you don't have a coach in your corner, I'm going to tell you, you are missing out, because they are going to lovingly support you and nudge you forward in the direction where you need to be nudged. And let me just say that when you do have a coach, please put down all the barriers and tell them all the places you struggle, because they'll be able to do their best for you when you're willing to open up completely and totally and tell them where you struggle. They're there because they want to help. They're there in that business. When I'm working with a client, I want to know everything that they're really struggling with, because then I can step up and give them more and more and more to support them going forward. So that is a huge essential, in my opinion, for you to be a business owner and for you to be able to grow. You see, the thing is that when you're a business owner and you're operating primarily on your own, it's very hard to identify the areas that you need to grow in. It's extremely hard to grow yourself without other people's support. And it's very, very difficult to see where you can be expanding, because we are in our own little bubble when we are in our own business. We need outside perspectives. We need somebody else's set of eyes to support us. All right, that's it for our first segment. Do not go away. I've got a lot more that I want to share with you. You are listening to the Inspired Choices Show. I'm your host, Christine McIver. If you have a question or a comment, come on over to inspiredchoicesnetwork.com/chat room. Join us in the chat room, ask your questions, make your comments, and let's see what we can do to create even greater joy for you in your business. We'll be right back. See you shortly.
Many of us make choices based on our past experiences or based on what others believe. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire for our futures? When you join the Inspired Choices Show with business optimization expert Christine McIver, you'll be provoked to look at what is true and what you know, but may not choose, that requires your attention. Christine does not hold back. She brings all her expertise to every show. Are you ready to create and live the life you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Inspired Choices Show with business optimization expert Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine@inspiredchoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
Yes, we are back. I'm your host, Christine McIver. And tonight we're talking about all the things that business owners need, really the business basics that you need to have. In the first segment, we were talking about a lot of the things that perhaps we don't consider, like having good internet, having our own back, being organized, all of these things that really set us up for success. And having your own back is one of the biggest things, because when you don't have your own back, you maybe are allowing other things around you to dictate how successful you're going to be. When you have what we talked about in the first segment, when you have these things in place, what's going to happen is, as you start to put the rest of your business together or continue to operate your business, it's going to be easier and faster for you to manage through. So having your own back means that you're willing to do what it takes to get organized. It means you're willing to do what it takes to really honor what it is that's on your heart. You know, when you have strong integrity with yourself, you're going to step up and make the best that you possibly can of your business. And those things, having strong morals and values, integrity in what you do, along with everything I've spoken of so far, those are the things that are absolutely going to bring you forward and make things much more easeful. Okay, another big thing, and these are not in any particular order as we go through it, another big thing is to have a plan. Do you have a plan for your business? And I'm asking this question of everyone, whether you've been in business for 5 minutes, 5 years, or 50 years. Do you have a plan? So I'll tell you, when I first got started in my business, my plan was to start a business. That was about it. I really didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't have a lot of people around me that were in the type of business that I was in. My father was in his own business, many of my siblings in their own businesses, but they were all in construction, and that's not the business that I was going into. So I didn't know what it was that what a plan really looked like. I knew that I yes, Karen in the chat room says that was my plan as well. Exactly. So there's something pulling you, and that's a great thing, that something was pulling us to start our business, but we wanted to start. But the next thing that for me was, I knew that I had all these years of human resources experience, but it wasn't something that I wanted to do from a consulting perspective. But I knew that there were still skills there and knowledge that I had that could be utilized. The next step was for me that I went and I spent about 6 months doing formal coaching training. And once I had that coaching training, I started to advertise that I was now a life coach. That's where I started out. And I quickly started to move into doing business coaching with my current clients. So there wasn't really a plan. I didn't know really where I was going. I didn't really know what kind of sales I wanted to do, what kind of services I wanted to offer. And then when you don't know that, you don't know what the price points should be. You don't know what your targets should be. There was a lot of things that I didn't know. And so what a plan does is it starts to build you forward. Now, where I had a challenge, and I wonder if anybody else out there is having that challenge, is you're trying to see what it should look like, what it should look like, and I say that in quotations, what the plan should look like when it's done. And that's not exactly how you do this. What you want to do is you want to start somewhere. So please start writing down what it is that you want to be doing, what it is, the services or the products that you want to be offering, and start laying this out. Start laying it out. And I love Google Sheets or Excel spreadsheets. Start laying it out and start imagining what you would like to price each of these items for. And if you start with an idea of, I would like to make X number of dollars. So if you want to make $50,000 a year, divide that by 12. And then once you've done that, then you're going to come back and you're going to go, okay, so if I do that, this is how much money I need to make per week. And then divide that by 5. This is how much money I need to make per day. So you start to get a sense of where you need to be looking to grow your business to the 50,000 or the 100,000 or the 500,000, whatever that is. Then when you start to look at your services, you can start to gauge how many of those services or products do I need to be selling in order to hit those targets. And that's where you start to play with your numbers. Once you are doing this, you start to get a better understanding of how much time would I need each day. Like if, let's say you're a massage therapist, how many massages could you do a day? Over time for a massage therapist, sometimes their hands and their wrists get sore. So doing more than 2 or 3 massages a day may not be reasonable. So that's where you want to really start looking at, is this a viable plan? So for a massage therapist, they might be doing some massage and then they might be doing some other maybe product sales. Maybe they would be part of an MLM, so when you have a plan, then you're not just when you don't have a plan, you're just kind of jumping in and going as fast as you can. And then hoping at the end of the year that the numbers make sense. That is, I think we've all probably done that at some point in our lives, in our businesses, or working for someone else, but that is going to leave you short damn near every single time. And it's going to be disappointing. So it's so important that you sit down and you make a plan, and it creates the strategy for where you want to go. And it doesn't matter, again, whether you're looking at making an extra $20,000 in a part-time business, or you're looking at, hundreds of thousands of dollars, you need to have a plan. One second. Pardon me. When you have really fine-tune your plan and you're really crafting that out well, you're going to be able to start making targets. You're going to start to look at who your ideal clients are. And sometimes that's going to take you some time to start figuring that out. Sometimes we have to get in there and we have to start doing the work for us to be able to understand who we best work with, our services and our products best serve. That's okay. You don't need to have all of this figured out before you begin. But what you want to do is keep coming back to this again and again, right? And then you want to start looking at, along with your financial projections, your product and service projections, you want to start looking at the who the ideal client is, but you want to be looking at, okay, what's my real target in my business? And what's my mission? What kind of mission am I on? Now, I can tell you, I was in my own business for a number of years, and as I was growing and evolving and changing who I was, so was my business. You see, your business doesn't have this huge plan and then you build up to it. You are actually growing and then your business grows. So think of it like that frog, that frog jumping. So you jump forward and then your business starts to jump forward, and you jump forward and your business starts to jump forward. You evolve together. You evolve together. And so as much as you are growing yourself and you're growing your understanding of who you are in business, your business will then continue to evolve. If you've never been in business and in the particular leapfrog, thank you, in the particular business that you're going into or you are in now, you don't know who you are in business yet. And that's something that people don't understand. You don't know who you're going to be until you are actually in this business and you begin to operate in this business. The next one is a really big one. It's the legal structure. Now, these are big words, but what you want to make sure of is that you have registered your business. You want to make sure that you've registered your name, whether it's in your province, your state, your city, your country. You want to make sure that you register this. And you want to make sure that you have the paperwork so that there's not going to be a problem if someone else tries to register that business. You want to make sure that you've taken up your space and you have that taken care of. The next thing you want to do is, if you are in partnership with anyone, that you have a partnership legal agreement written up. Do not go into partnership. I did. Do not go into partnership with someone unless you have a legal agreement. I did the first time. I did not have a legal agreement, and there was huge kickbacks at me because of that. It impacted me financially, and it really took the stuffing out of me emotionally for quite a while. My second business, that was the first thing I did. I wrote up a legal agreement. I said, I'm not moving forward until we have this all in writing. And I'm glad that I did, because like all things, all relationships come to an end, either through choice or through death. So partnerships, business partnerships often end. Make sure you have that legal agreement in place to take care of everyone involved. You want to also have proper documentation, legal agreements written up for if you're hiring consultants, if you're hiring team members, if you are hiring employees, short-term, long-term. You also want to have agreements written up for your clients. For in the coaching business, we need to have agreements written up so that everyone is taken care of. Everyone's interests are taken care of. And if someone should choose to leave, that the other person is not at the effect of that. These agreements are so critical. They allow you to have open, challenging conversations without feeling like you can't make a move because you're going to be shortchanged in some way. Okay. please, if you're struggling with doing these things, do reach out to me. These are the things that I help my clients put into place to take care of them. And one of the big things that I know is that when we have these legal agreements put in place, you don't have to hire a lawyer to do this. But when we have these legal agreements put into place, it actually boosts our confidence in moving forward. And we stop to buy into the doubt that oftentimes is in our head, or the imposter syndrome that goes on when we are in partnership with someone. These are extremely important for all parties involved. Okay, we've got a lot more to share with you, but we are up to our next break of the show. Do come back. There's lots more to share, and there's lots more to, discover on what you're already doing brilliantly, or what else you could add to taking care of you and your business. So you're listening to Inspired Choices. I'm Christine McIver, your host here on the Inspired Choices Network. We'll be right back.
Many of us make choices based on our past experiences or based on what others believe. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire for our futures? When you join the Inspired Choices show with business optimization expert Christine McIver, you'll be provoked to look at what is true and what you know, but may not choose, that requires your attention. Christine does not hold back. She brings all her expertise to every show. Are you ready to create and live the life you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is the Inspired Choices Show with business optimization expert Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine@InspiredChoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
Yes, we are back. If you are just joining us, we're talking about business basics, and it's probably not the business basics you were thinking of. I'm curious, how many of you that are listening live, or even that are listening in the replay, how many of you know of some business basic that I've already mentioned and you've known for a while you should be doing that you have not been yet doing? I would love, love, love for you to post that if you're in the chat room, or post that wherever you're listening, because it's very curious. We oftentimes know there's things that we should be doing that we're not yet doing. And I'm curious to see what people's responses are to that. Somebody else is raising their hand. Oh yeah, for sure. Okay, so when we left off, we were talking about the legal things that we need to have in place. There's also items where, from a legal perspective, that you need to look at any local compliance issues, any local regulations, especially if you're doing product creation in your home, or you're taking clients into your home. There oftentimes are things that you need to consider to take care of yourself. And you may also need to have insurance. That's another piece that you want to look at. What would be the implication if you didn't, and really go from there. Okay. The next piece that I want to talk about is the financial management. This is a really, really big piece. So we're talking about, your accounting, your cash flow, how you are charging your clients, how you're getting paid, all of the frequency, everything. And this is, again, something that I think all of us figure we can handle. And yet when we get into it, this is what I know. Your business only grows financially as far as high as you can manage the finances. So if you don't have a lot of your accounting processes in place, if you don't have a lot of these things out there in place where people can easily pay you, and you are maybe you have them on some kind of a subscription program where payment automatically processes, or the invoice automatically goes out. If you don't have these plans in place, you are going to struggle with cash flow. And if you start to struggle with cash flow, you're going to be distracted in your business. You're going to start to get into higher expenses across the board with creating your business. And oftentimes that can lead to then resentment and really questioning whether you really want to be in your own business. So one of the big things that I do with my clients, and I really invite them into doing, is looking at, okay, so you've got these services or you have these products. So what's your price point? Okay, great. So then how do people hire you? How do people pay you? Do you have an online booking program? So you need to have an online booking program, but not only an online booking program, but a program that is something they can access, something that shows your hours, really shows the correct hours you are available to work with them. And then once they book that, that they are getting reminders on what they need to be doing, whether it's showing up on a video call, a telephone call, showing up to a location at a certain time. You need to be reminding people and make it easeful for them to add that to their calendar, right? You don't want to have people booking something and then they have no notification of it, and then they forget and they don't show up. Definitely have had that happen. And I kept coming back to, okay, what's missing? Why is this occurring? And looking at tweaking that program, that system. You also want to have, okay, when they book with me, when they want to have a session with me, how do they pay? How do they get notification of pay? You can actually have, this is booked, but this is not secure until the payment has been received. And maybe an automatic email goes out with the payment link inside of that email. These are things that are very important. I remember when I first started and people would book appointments with me, and they would want to book like maybe a 6-month package. And I would have to ask them, so we just finished our first session. When are you going to be paying me? I was not as confident then when I first started. Today, it's like, the payment is required in advance of the services. This is what's going on. And as you start to look at this and you get your booking system in place, you get your payment system in place, you're going to have people say yes on a different level. Their level of commitment when they show up, especially if you're coaching with them, it's elevated. When someone pays for something up front, they are invested into providing whatever it is that they need to provide to you so you can be successful to serve them with the product or service. And if someone is looking to purchase products, you need to have a down payment at the very minimum to cover your raw products, to make your raw materials, rather, to make those products. So having these systems in place takes care of you and takes care of the customer in the end as well. You want to have your accounting in place, that you are regularly, on a daily basis, when I receive receipts into my inbox, I regularly put them into a receipt folder, and then those go into the accounting folder for my accountant, my bookkeeper, to access to take care of my bookkeeping. I used to do all my own bookkeeping. So what I would do is I would track all of my expenses every day in an Excel spreadsheet, so that I wasn't doing this huge amount of work at the end of the year and resenting it and avoiding it. Oh my gosh. And then I didn't know where my business was really at from month to month because I wasn't doing it properly. If that's you, I implore you to get that changed. That is not fun. And it certainly takes all the joy out of any successes that you do have when you're trying to climb this huge, huge mountain. Get an accounting system in place for you so it's easy for you to track it, it's easy for you to sort, and it's easy for you to file. These things will make your day-to-day much more enjoyable. You want to have understand each and every day, at least each and every week, what's my cash flow at? Where am I at with cash flow? How often am I having to chase people? And what system do I need to change? When I first started doing some of my business services, I was having people pay month to month. That wasn't working. And so I needed to change that. And so I actually changed it to paying 2 months up front for a year contract, so that I was not left with them having signed that contract and then walking away from the contract before it was fully paid. That has made a huge difference in my business. That may not work for you, but what if looking at this from a different perspective could possibly change things so that you're not chasing people for the money that is owed to you? This is such an important piece, my friends, because if you don't have cash flow, it's going to be very, very hard for you to continue to be in business. The next essential I want to talk about is marketing essentials. Thinking about what you want to be doing, how you want to be marketing, how you want to be engaging either online or in person. Do you want to be putting things in a magazine? Do you want to be putting things, marketing in a newspaper? Do you just want to do online? Do you have your own website? Are you marketing properly on your website? What about your communication flows? Do you have a great CRM? So a CRM program is a customer relation management program. And with one of these, you can track the customers you are talking to, your prospects you're talking to, the different conversations you have, what you've spoken about, where you can continue to stay in touch with them and really build that relationship. When you build a strong relationship with your customers, you don't have to keep going and finding more and more customers, because when you build a strong relationship, that customer continues to remain a customer. And that's what a CRM program can assist you in doing. You can communicate with them with ease. So as far as marketing goes, if you are sending out newsletters or any kind of communications and emails, when you have them, the customers all in your CRM program, it's very easy to include them all in your communication. You know, back in the day, we used to send an individual email to each person, and it took a long time to be able to send that out. No longer today, but that doesn't mean that we still shouldn't be having personalized conversations and communications with them. But the information, the same information going to a number of people can be delivered in mass quantities, but still you want to be able to have that opportunity to speak one-on-one with them in a different way. Okay, so that is our marketing and customer relations. You want to have a visibility on all of the social media platforms out there. You know, a lot of people say, "Oh, I only like this platform. I only like that platform," and I've said this a lot of times, but it's so important you understand that your customer may be on a different platform than you are on. The people that are looking for your services and for your products may be looking for them in a place where you don't have a presence. So having a presence doesn't mean that you have to be active in each of these social media platforms hours and hours a day. When you get your systems set up, your systems will be advertising and marketing and communicating on these platforms with your information. And then you go in and spend a little bit of time, at least 2 or 3 times a week on each of these platforms, interacting with those customers. And that will start to make a very big difference. And when you have these really good systems in place, the very cool thing is you're going to have more time to really devote to your client interaction and building those relationships. Another big piece is in your business, you have different systems and how you do your business. You need to have your standard operating procedures written out. You want to have those standard operating procedures, or how you do any task, you want to have those written out very, very specifically, especially if you grow your business to bring on employees. When you have these in place, then it's very easy for them to follow that system and for you to be able to reevaluate the system on a regular basis. I would say annually, at the very least, you want to review your SOPs so that you can become more efficient and you can have your employees be more efficient as well. That also shows you where you've gotten very good at something or where you still need to spend some more energy and time in focusing to understand these systems. Yes, so we've got a lot of different things. I've been going through a lot more. I could speak about this for a long, long time, but what I really want you to understand is there are a lot of pieces in business and the basics, and these are basics because these are, everything that I'm talking about are standard to every single solitary business. There are a lot of them, yes, and it may feel overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be. As you start to go through one and then you complete that and you go to the next one, you will get stronger and stronger. Once you have these basics in place, you can start to operate more efficiently and feel less overwhelmed with what you don't have completed. When when you do anything, when you dress yourself, when you bathe yourself, when you make a meal, you have a system. And the same should be said for your business. You want to have a system in place so that you can enjoy it and it can operate more efficiently. So we are up to our final break of the show. I've got a few things I want to discuss with you when you come back. So please do. You're listening to Inspired Choices. I'm your host, Christine McIver, and we're on the Inspired Choices Network. We'll be right back.
Many of us make choices based on our past experiences or based on what others believe. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire for our futures? When you join the Inspired Choices show with business optimization expert Christine McIver, you'll be provoked to look at what is true and what you know, but may not choose, that requires your attention. Christine does not hold back. She brings all her expertise to every show. Are you ready to create and live the life you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Inspired Choices Show with business optimization expert Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine@InspiredChoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
Oh, yes. How's everybody doing? I know this is a lot of information, and I know that if you're just starting out or you've been struggling in your business, that you may have already turned off, and it may feel like, oh my God, am I ever going to get there? And I'm here to tell you that you can get there, but oftentimes we can't get there alone. I have coaches that I work with who support me. I have experts in their fields who support me with my business. And the wonderful thing about this is that A, I'm not doing it alone. And B, I get to have conversations with people, especially if you're someone that works from home. You're probably sitting in your office all alone, and I get to have these conversations. So it really adds to my day to be able to have conversations with other people. And in addition, I get to bounce ideas off of people when I am working with them. The cool thing about when you're getting everything organized and when you get these basics in place and you have these systems in place, you now have space and opportunity to get more creative. because most people do want to grow their business. Most people want to offer maybe a higher ticket priced service, maybe some kind of program. Maybe you want to do a group program. Maybe you want to go beyond just the individuals. Perhaps you want to get on stages. When you have things in place, you become more efficient. And when you become more efficient, you start to relax and you start to open up your energy to receive even more. And that includes creativity, that includes new ideas. And when you have new ideas, this is where you are growing yourself, and then your business again starts to grow. Remember that leapfrog effect? So as you allow yourself to get organized, and you know what you need to do is you need to slow down to speed up. A couple years ago, I think it was about 2.5 years ago, I started to look at the different packages that I had for the network, the Inspired Choices Network. And I probably spent about 3 or 4 months going through everything with a fine-tooth comb and tweaking and changing and creating things differently. I really needed to slow down in order to become more efficient, more profitable in my business, and to have much more ease in my business as well, and to provide packages that clients and new hosts were looking for. And so whenever you are looking to up level, you oftentimes need to do a reevaluation. But the great thing is that as you are doing that, as you are getting things more finely tuned and more finely tuned, you're enjoying your business more. You're becoming more proficient. You're also becoming more of an expert in your field. And when you become more of an expert in your field, you become more valuable to those around you. You also get to create and enjoy the fruits of your labor when you are really getting things in place, and so that it starts to run like a fine oiled machine. When you have this going on in your business, you're bringing more joy to the world. You're bringing more joy to your world. You're bringing more joy to your family's world. You're bringing more finances into your life where you can then contribute to those around you or those that live very far away from you. When you become more profitable, you make a bigger contribution in the world and not just your world. So getting these business basics in place is going to contribute to everyone. It has the potential to really have some huge benefits for you, your family, your desires of the future, but also those people around that maybe will ask for support, and you'll be in a place to be able to bring them more support. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Wouldn't it be great for you to be able to have the finances and the ease to be able to make that choice? It changes you and it changes your business. It changes everything that you probably ever imagined when you started out. My friends, there's a lot more things from an individual perspective that I would love to look at with you. If you are someone who is looking for more support, how you can make things easier, let's just get together for 30 minutes. Let's have a conversation. I'll bring you all that I can to show you what's possible with your business that could make your business much more profitable and a lot more fun to have in the world. So thank you so much for joining tonight. Next week, the show is called, Do You Have a Backpack of Lack? Yeah, we're going to be talking all about lack, and we're going to be talking about what maybe you don't even realize that you're carrying around with you in your daily life and in your business from a lack perspective. Thank you, each and every one of you who joined tonight. Thank you to each and every one of you that have listened. And if you're someone out there that is desiring support, you can email me, Christine at inspiredchoices.ca. And if you know someone that is looking to bring their voice to the world, you can absolutely reach out and we can talk about what the Inspired Choices Network has to offer to them. So until next week, my friends, I want you to remember that you can always make another choice. The door is not closed until you've decided that door is closed. Take really good care of yourself. Make sure that you understand you're the most valuable product in your business, and keep being willing to challenge yourself to grow, because the rewards are endless. Until next week, take good care, my
Thank
friend.
you for choosing to listen to Inspired Choices Show. Christine McIver will return next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. We hope you'll join us. Until then, be willing to choose what you really desire. This is your life, making the choices that bring you all that you desire.